In the quiet suburban town of Buena Vista Township, Michigan, Officer Kenneth Bluew and Jenny Webb seemed to embody the perfect couple. They appeared to live an idyllic life, their relationship often described by friends and family as loving and stable. Jenny, a vibrant young woman, was 8.5 months pregnant, eagerly awaiting the arrival of her child with Ken, who was a well-respected police officer. However, their seemingly perfect world shattered on the night of October 11, 2022, when Jenny disappeared without a trace, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions, a community in shock. As the hours ticked by and the search for Jenny intensified, the mystery surrounding her sudden disappearance deepened. Officer Bluew, person closest to Jenny, was among the first to respond to the scene. His behavior seemed peculiar. He showed up at the crime scene, taking photos and collecting information, even though he was one of the last people who should have been there. When questioned, Bluew provided detailed accounts of finding Jenny's body in her car, with an extension cord tied around her neck. Despite his account of the grim discovery, there were inconsistencies that did not add up. The investigation revealed a tangled web of deception. It turned out that Bluew had taken photos of the crime scene, fact that raised suspicions given his position and proximity to the victim. He had also sustained injuries that he claimed were from wrestling with his dog, but these injuries did not match his description. Furthermore, his initial denial of a sexual relationship with Jenny was contradicted by evidence suggesting otherwise. As detectives dug deeper, they discovered a dangerous secret: Bluew's extensive training in chokeholds, which eerily mirrored the method of Jenny's murder. The investigation took a dark turn as forensic evidence began to surface. Bluew's blood was found on Jenny's clothing, in her car, and even in his own patrol vehicle. Not only that, but a latex glove tip with his blood was discovered at the crime scene. This evidence pointed towards a chilling truth. Officer Bluew had staged the scene to look like a suicide. His attempts to manipulate the evidence and his inconsistent story painted a disturbing picture of a man desperate to cover up his crimes. As the case against Bluew developed, the evidence grew overwhelming. His fingerprints were found on the suicide note, suggesting premeditation. DNA analysis confirmed the presence of his blood on various items associated with the crime. Despite his efforts to outwit investigators, the mounting evidence against him led to his arrest and trial. In February 2024, after a trial that lasted over 3 weeks and featured 31 witnesses, Bluew was convicted on all counts. He was sentenced to life in prison, with no chance of parole. Yet, even as Bluew was taken away in handcuffs, questions lingered. Bluew's sister publicly questioned the validity of the evidence, suggesting that her brother might have been set up. Claims of police misconduct and planted evidence did little to sway the court or public opinion, but they added a layer of doubt to an already complex case. The story of Jenny Webb and Officer Bluew forces us to confront the chilling reality of how appearances can be deceiving. How could someone trusted to protect the community turn out to be a murderer? And what lengths can a person go to hide their darkest secrets? This case not only underscores the dangers of obsession and deception, but also highlights the critical role of community vigilance in uncovering and addressing hidden threats. As you reflect on this tragic tale, consider the power of deception in our own lives. How can we ensure that we remain vigilant and discerning, even when everything seems perfect on the surface? Share your thoughts, like and subscribe to stay updated on more gripping, true crime stories.